Japa or Japada, two words that have taken on a life of their own. Japa is a Yoruba word from the southwestern part of Nigeria, and it means to flee or to run. And Japada is the reverse of Japa, that is to return home or to flee back or run back home, right? You've seen the headlines, heard the stories. Africans living for greener pastures, which is the Japa, and then going back home in what is now called Japada, which is the reverse Japa. But what do these stories really mean? And are they telling you the whole truth?
Before we go too far, the Japada, return home or going back home, being discussed here isn't necessarily about those who couldn't make it on their Japa journey. It's more about people who have achieved their success abroad, but desire to return back home to Africa. And the reasons such people give for Japadaing are quite inspiring, you know? Oh, there's no place like home, which is true.
Yes.
Not South, East, and West, as they say, home is always the best, right? Okay, they want to escape the high taxes, high living costs. They want to escape the violence in certain parts of the Western world. The weather
can be so cold.
The weather, you know, can be unfriendly
tornadoes
at times and all that. Then the culture, the child rearing culture, which is completely contrary to ours. And then, of course, the other cultural things that are not identifiable with us as Africans, or the desire to rebuild the motherland. These stories, you know, of Japada seem like the ultimate dream, but they also make people considering Japaing second guess their decision. Are they making the right choice?
Exactly. So they begin to think that way. But here is the truth. Those heartwarming Japada stories you have heard are often incomplete.
So true.
There is a side no one is talking about, and it's tied directly to the Japa journey. Today, we are breaking it down to give you the whole picture. Welcome to Cash Talk for Immigrants. My name remains Christine, and as always, I'm here with my beloved
Wachuku, Vidal Wachuku. As a couple who ourselves Japad, in other words, we moved from our home country, Nigeria, to the US, even though ours was primarily to serve in the Lord's vineyard, but it is still Japa in any ways, which way, and who get to visit home now and then. Actually, we consider ourselves as missionaries, right? Okay, we get to visit home now and then. We truly understand the appeal of Japada. You know, the love for home is real. Let's not downplay it. I remember the times when we go home, how I feel. It's almost like, yes, I'm back to familiar territory, right? But here's something that might surprise you. Japa remains the driving force behind Japada. In other words, without a Japa, there will be no Japada.
What makes Japada seem so remarkable is that it is built on the achievements made during the Japa journey. Think about it. All those reasons for returning home, like the high taxes, the discrimination, the bad weather, expensive living, and so on and so forth. There were challenges immigrants endured when they forced the Japat, right? So why did they endure all these things? Because they were focused on achieving the goals that drove them to live in the first place. The reason why they Japat in the first place, that's financial freedom.
Exactly, you got it. You hit the nail on the head. Now, those reasons that they give to now want to Japada back home only became issues after most had achieved their goals, not prior. No. Now, let me paint a picture. Imagine we decide to return home
to Japada,
back home now, with enough saved in our cash accumulation policies, plus our retirement accounts, that will enable us pay ourselves, let's say, $5,000 every month. Here in the US, that might not even cover rent and utilities in an average neighborhood for 1 month. But back home, in many African countries like ours, that $5,000, it's a lot of money. In our own country, it will convert to about 8.5 million at today's exchange rate. Just stop and imagine the kind of life we could live with that, having that amount every single month. And the truth is that we might even have much more. Many people might even have much more. They have income that is running up to almost $10,000 monthly that they will still be receiving even after Japadaing.
Yes.
Imagine the life they would live when they're Japada.
That reminds me of the young Nigerian man whose YouTube video I watched recently showing why he prefers living in Nigeria over America as a diaspora. He returned to Nigeria from the US with his family, and one of the reasons he mentioned was the lower cost of living and access to affordable skilled labor, like plumbers or repair
mechanics, all those things are cheap.
Of course, they are cheaper. But here is the question. Would he feel the same if he hadn't Japad first?
And would the circumstances be the same?
Exactly. I made a success of it. Isn't he leveraging everything he achieved during his Japa journey to live a comfortable life back home?
That's the point. You hit the nail right on the head. He could say that because they leverage, those who Japadaing like that, leverage the high exchange rates and use their Japa experience as the foundation to not only Japada, but to also succeed when they get back home. That leverage gives them the ability to take advantage of investment opportunities, business opportunities back home, to be able to live a much more comfortable life than they would have otherwise lived while here. So why wouldn't you want to Japada if you have that situation? But think of the reverse.
YouTube tells us that most of our viewers are not subscribers. If you have enjoyed this video this far and found value, yet are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Your support helps our videos reach more people and allows our channel to grow. Thank you for being a part of our community.
Okay, still talking about those that Japada and return home after making a success here. There's this YouTube influencer that many of you might know about. She's Nigerian, Summer Aku. She's someone we follow on YouTube. And after she returned to Nigeria, I think she was in Ireland or somewhere like that. She's not only earning passive income through her monetized YouTube channel in pound sterling or whatever, but has also set up an Airbnb in Lagos and started the business selling African dresses. Now, these ventures, her Japada experience now in creating these ventures, help her to assist others back home.
Which is good.
So in other words, her Japa experience was worth the while, right? But ask yourself this question. If she had not Japa in the first instance, without that Japa experience, would she have been in a position to afford or even consider these opportunities that she has been able now to extend to other people back home? We don't know, but your guess is as good as mine. Her Japa experience was profitable. And that's why she could go back. She could Japada back the way she has done.
And that's the point. Japada is about so much more than just returning home. It's not, oh, Japada is return. No, it's about options, opportunities, and financial freedom. And one of those options is enjoying the perks of both countries.
Eating your cake and having it, right?
For instance, many Japadaing are probably dual citizens, right? So they are citizens of the country they Japad to, if it's US or UK or wherever. And then they are also citizens of their African countries. So this fact alone is a powerful backup plan, a plan they would never have had if they didn't japa in the first instance. If things don't go as expected back in Africa, they always have the option to return to the country they japa to in the first instance. So, for example, if we were to Japada today and discover that healthcare back home does not meet our needs, our citizenship here allows us to come back anytime to access the care we want. But if we had never japad in the first instance, the option wouldn't even exist.
Kosinko, it would not have existed at all.
We'll have to do with whatever is available back
home, because you are Japadaing as still somebody who hasn't planted solid roots to the land of your Japa in the first instance. Anyway, think about it like this. Most immigrants, like Abraham in the Bible, leave home searching for greener pastures. It's only after achieving something solid abroad that they feel ready to Japada, to go back. You will not go empty-handed. You don't want to make a fool of yourself. So for Japada to be sweet and worth it, you must have achieved your goal for Japaing. Ask yourself, there are so many people that are not able to Japada. You think they don't want to Japada if they could? Probably they have not achieved their goals here. There are some that cannot even visit home regularly because they have not achieved anything here. So in other words, sweet Japada is the result of an achieved Japa goal. Without having established yourself properly here and gained financial stability, as we will say, Gidigba, you stood on both legs. Abroad, where you have Japada would not only be off the table entirely, it won't even be under consideration. It would end up being a miserable misadventure. One that has caused some who ventured to do it ill-advisedly to promptly Japa back after their eyes are clear. Watch it, be careful.
If you are losing sleep over whether you should Japa now that Japadaing is the vogue, here is the truth. There can never be a Japada without a Japa. Again, it is the success you achieve abroad that makes Japada sweet, rewarding, and something to be genuinely proud of. If you doubt me, ask those who were Japad by force, that is deported, particularly when they were not ready to Japada. It's not in our place to make a decision for you to tell you, oh, Japa, oh, don't Japada, or whatever. But if you know why you want to Japa, and you have taken the necessary steps to gather and analyze information of where you are Japaing to, please don't overthink it because of the Japada trend.
And if Japada is on your mind, if you want to return back to home sweet home, right? You want to go back to Africa where you are free and you can meet with people, you can visit without giving notice, you can go out to the street and eat on this by the street side and do all those things that we love doing in Africa, right? Our next video breaks down what life back home is really like, particularly after you've been gone for so long. The hidden costs, the adjustments, and how you can make your Japada work. Click right here and we'll see you there.